This week in the parish of bourses and market structure, Riyadh Open IBKR throws down the results gauntlet, MIAX sells again as MCX soars, and a tale of two exchanges shows the contrasts between CBOE and SGX. My name is Patrick L. Young. Welcome to the Bourse Business Weekly Digest. It's the Exchange Invest Weekly Podcast, episode 330. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very brief reduction of highlights amongst the key headlines from the week in market structure. All the analysis of the many events and happenings from the past 7 days can be found in Exchange Invest Daily Subscriber Newsletter, the unique guide to the Bourse business sent daily to your inbox. More details at exchangeinvest.com. Over in bit carnage, Hellenic Binance, that's the thing. After all those years not being in places like Malta or France, where indeed France flagged 90 unlicensed crypto companies ahead of the MiCA cutoff, including Binance, and more jurisdictions still, in the end, it's ultimately Athens for Binance's MiCA ambitions. If you enjoyed this excerpt, you may be interested to know you can read BitCarnage every day in Exchange Invest. Alternatively, if you want to follow BitCarnage, the daily update on happenings in the world of crypto and digital assets, you can find BitCarnage as a standalone on Substack. Over in the mainstream world of exchanges, it's official. A massive influx of institutional capital is now welcome in Riyadh from across the world. Tadawul is moving fast in Saudi Arabia, pushing to be primus inter pares amongst the Middle Eastern exchanges. At the same time, Hong Kong Exchange's CEO is ebullient as IPOs keep growing, while the LSEG is reduced to sorry videos, and JSE Johannesburg is also amongst the somewhat lost venues trying to regain their listing mojo, not forgetting Japan, which is hoping to lure regional startups. At Hong Kong Exchanges, 11 companies raised $4 billion in Hong Kong in the first 3 weeks of 2026, with hundreds more lining up to list. SGX, meanwhile, looked somewhat desperate after a decade of CEO Lo Boon Chai, which has achieved nothing. Mega broker IBKR throws down the gauntlet to kick off earnings season with another healthy rise in profits. Can the exchanges match the Peterfee machine? While Schwab continued a good broker quarter, MCX posted another bounce back as the recovery continues post the fiasco over tech upgrades away from Cygnus Shell's 63 moons. MIAX, meanwhile, completed a second sale of MIAXdx, this time to a Robinhood SIG joint venture. China is looking to launch LNG futures next month as the veteran CEO of the Mauritius Stock Exchange retires, and meanwhile, Craig Donoghue has completely reshaped the management of CBOE with at least one exciting new hire as the CBOE Europe head is the latest senior figure to depart. Back in Hong Kong, the FSTB and the Shanghai Gold Exchange have signed a cooperation agreement to foster high-quality development of Hong Kong's gold market. That was trailed in last week's Exchange Invest by Hong Kong's Paul Chan. Thanks for listening to Exchange Invest Weekly. We welcome your feedback. You can contact me directly, patrick@derivativesvision.com, with any comments. Meanwhile, if you enjoyed this show, we would welcome you giving us a thumbs up. Or, if you have time, a positive review will always be welcome, wherever you find this podcast. Over in results, as I mentioned earlier, it was a busy week for results in the parish. All the details were in Exchange Invest Daily, the newsletter no person can afford to be without in capital markets and market structure. For the sake of this podcast, let's look at some edited highlights. Fourth quarter 2025 results from Interactive Brokers were cracking. 3-month total revenues at $1.64 billion was up 18.5%. Net income up 24%. Total net revenues over the 12-month period up 20%, well, 19.67 if you want to be pedantic, and 12-month net income up 28%. Having said that, even MCX went one further. The Indian Multi-Commodity Exchange Q3 results for financial year 2026 in the Indian calendar saw profits zooming 150% as the recovery from the previous technological upheaval shambles when they were upgrading away from 63 moon system caused profits to sag for so many quarters. Good results from Schwab also in, and of course you can read all of those results in Exchange Invest every day. Drop over to exchangeinvest.com to start your 7-day free trial now and join the exchange of information. In deal news, one useful deal completed. Miami International Holdings have completed the sale of MIAXdx, once again, to a joint venture established by Robinhood Markets in a partnership with Susquehanna International. Of course, you'll famously remember that this platform was essentially the one that was sold as LedgerX, and then ultimately became part of FTX, and then was bought back again by Miami when FTX disappeared. At which point in time, ladies and gentlemen, let's drop into a sponsored segment courtesy of our supporters at NASDAQ. Welcome to a NASDAQ-sponsored segment. Investor appetite for Asia is rising, but post-trade friction is holding markets back. In the new NASDAQ and Value Exchange study, 25% of participants plan to grow exposure, yet 46% face artificial trading limits. The biggest pain point? Corporate actions. 60% report high error rates and 39% of platforms are still legacy. The fix is clear. Harmonize rules, standardize workflows, modernize technology in order to unlock efficiencies in settlement and corporate actions. For exchange leaders ready to scale, download Creating Asia's post-trade operating model of tomorrow at bit.ly, that's bit.ly/APAC-post-trade. That's APAC-post-trade, all one word, at bit.ly. Meanwhile, if you fancy some financial insights with moving pictures, check out our live stream Tuesdays, 5 o'clock London time, midday New York time. It's the IPO Video Live Show. Catch the back episodes on LinkedIn and YouTube via IPO-VID. Now online is IPO-VID number 199, Making Markets in Play, with Troy Kane, the COO and President of In Play Markets. Our finance book of the week, that's from a forthcoming guest of IPO-VID, The Great Disruption with Srividya Jandiala. The Great Disruption is discussing how geopolitics is changing companies, managers, and work. It explores how geopolitical shifts, including the rise of China, the US-China tech competition, and regional conflicts affect corporates and their entire ecosystem. Our next book of the week will be unveiled Saturday in the EI Weekend Edition. And don't forget, if you want all the news on the Bourse business sent daily to your inbox, once again, join us at Exchange Invest via exchangeinvest.com. It's only $499 per annum to join the exchange of information. Product news, the LSEG has been seeking to promote its relevance as a capital market through a rather average video, a bond with Britain and its capital markets. Over in China, apparently they're going to be offering LNG futures as soon as perhaps next month, aka March, while also China is opening up nickel and lithium futures to foreign investors. NASDAQ are proposing a $5 million market value for continued listing requirement on their exchange, and Spimex in St. Petersburg in Russia are planning to launch trading in platinum bullion. SGX, they have created a proposal for smaller lot sizes for affordable trading, arguably a win for retail investors, but issues remain according to the Business Times, no less, of Singapore. Over in career paths, the CBOE is mourning the passing of former President Ed Joyce, RIP, while in Mauritius, a massive leadership transition has been announced. First of all, Sunil Benimadou has announced his intention to retire by July 2026 after 25 years as CEO of the Mauritius Stock Exchange. Meanwhile, effective from the 21st of January of this year, the exchange has appointed a local industry veteran, Tommy Lowe, as the new chairman. Over at CBOE, a lot of major achievements. Nathan Tiefenbraun is out from heading CBOE Europe, and the CBOE team is now essentially one of Craig Donohue's choosing. It's a radical upheaval, and the most impressive appointment by far is the excellent Scott Johnson, who helped CME vault its technology forward at the turn of the century. To hear who else is joining and moving alongside Scott Johnston, all the information was in this week's Exchange Invest. And that leaves us at Big World. One regime which is doubtless nervous but hoping its worries may be abating in a post-Maduro Venezuela is Guyana, where the recent discovery of vast oil and gas resources prompted Venezuela to rediscover some territorial claims. Post-Maduro, one would have presumed, Guyana is better positioned to profit from its newly discovered energy reserves. And on that mysterious and magnificent note, thank you for listening to this EI Weekly podcast number 330. Join us daily via exchangeinvest.com, or if you have a new exchange you would like built, get in touch. My name is Patrick L. Young, and I wish you all a great week in life and markets. This show relates to the business of bourses. It is not to be construed as investment advice, nor are we making any investment recommendations. Please consult an investment advisor before you make any investments, and for goodness sake, do your due diligence and do not make investments without complying with the regulations in your home state. Exchange Invest cannot be held responsible for any investment decisions made as a result of our program, which is for entertainment purposes only. The material herein is copyright Patrick L. Young at the date of publication, while our music and sound effects are sourced from copyright-free sources. Thanks for listening to Exchange Invest Weekly, the exchange of information.